realized I can't have any more of my Coke Zero.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to endure. Get up and run.
Exactly.
Oh. I'm more of a Starbucks person myself, so I'm good.
Caffeine in any form is good.
Well,
Tina,
welcome everyone. It is 4:31 and we want to be respectful of your time. We are so delighted that you decided to join us today as we embark on the preparation for our 17th annual Power of Possibilities Breakfast and our second annual virtual breakfast, which we know will be a success. Before we get started, we're going to have our CEO, Deborah Matthews, give us a welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Now, if you read the instructions, it says grab your drink and snack. So you can do that quickly while I'm talking. But I'm here to thank you for joining us tonight for our second virtual Table Captain Kickoff. It's not the same as being there with those great snacks, but we appreciate the fact that you guys have come together nevertheless. I think most of you know that I'm Deborah Matthews, the president and CEO of the Children's Center for the last nearly 16 years. Children's Center is a place that I've loved for over 35 years. So thank you for taking this time out. Your task is about inviting your network of friends and families and associates to the Power of Possibilities Breakfast that we'll have again on May 11th. And of course, you know that this is our second Pop Breakfast fundraiser during this COVID-19 pandemic, which of course has been a time of great, great challenge for everyone, the entire world. So you can imagine how great the challenges have been and the need for the children and the families that are served by the Children's Center. Usually we serve about 7,500 children and families every year. This year or this past 12 months has been quite difficult to reach some of those families. So the more resources we have, the better we can reach our families. Our mission is, of course, to help children and families shape their own futures. So every part that you play in this event certainly helps to further our mission. And I thank you so much for that. What you're doing is so critically important, and I sincerely thank you. Again, welcome, and I will hand it back to Marletta.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for that. Again, welcome. We're really excited that you all are here today. And I want to introduce a couple of our staff members before we get started. So we have Tammy Zonkner, Abby Adair, Carmen Zupicki, and Marletta Boyd II, myself. You'll see our names, faces, and voices over the course of the next couple of months as we lead into the breakfast. We have table captain calls, we're leading tours, and you'll also see a lot of newsletters come through. So these are the faces behind the names. And so thank you so much for your response and your communication with us. Our next two people that we want to introduce are very special and near and dear to my heart. We have Tina Ford and David Reich. They are our co-chairs for our Power of Possibilities Breakfast. So they are the brains and they are the fabulous duo that will take you through the next hour or so of discussion to give you all the tools that you need to get you revved up and excited for this breakfast. So without further ado, I turn it over to Tina and Dave.
Well, hello, everyone. Tina Ford, as Marletta said. Thank you all so very, very much for being here. Obviously, we know how busy you are and you're on these crazy Zoom and team calls all the time. So thank you for spending your time with us. We do appreciate it and we will respect your time. You'll be hearing, as Marletta said, from both David and I. So hello, David.
Hi. Thank you, Tina. This is going to be quick and we're going to get you through and we're going to give you a lot of information. Certainly this is being recorded, so if you miss something, we'll get that out to you. But welcome. This is going to be an exciting event. The event itself, the second virtual event, this is going to be, I always call it our Super Bowl. So get started. We're going to help you be successful as a table captain, and let's get started on doing just that. So we can go to the next slide. So let's just look at the basics. You know how these things work. You're muted. So if we will be taking questions throughout the presentation or collecting them for a kind of Q&A at the end. Tina and I are going to try to answer every question if we can, and those will be collected, and those will be either something we say out loud or possibly Abby will ask those questions for us, or we'll allow you to kind of articulate those at the end. Again, as I said, we're going to send you a link of this recording after, and we look forward to making this a great event, and not just today, but obviously the event itself, and be as informative as possible.
All right, so all of you already know, but just to reiterate the basics for our Power of Possibilities breakfast. It is obviously Tuesday, May 11th. It's our virtual event. As we've said, it's the second one. So we've learned our learning curve has gone like this. So it's been wonderful. This time we actually are having at 7:30 our informal networking and coffee. So what we used to have at the hotel now, we no longer can do for the time being, but we actually are going to do it online. So we're going to be doing that virtually. And then we did start the program. We listened to everybody. We are starting it at 8 o'clock. It's from 8 to 9, so we can get that extra half hour of sleep. And again, it's presented by our dear Ford Motor Company. Obviously, we could not do any of the work we do without our dear Ford Motor Company. But we do have additional sponsorship opportunities that are available. So if you know of anybody or you may be interested, please contact one of us and we would be happy to show you the way. So thank you again. But yes, if you can think of anybody, just let us know.
I know I'm going to be taking advantage of that 30-minute coffee session as I've perfected from working from home my coffee making ability. So that's awesome. So as far as our theme, we always have a theme, and it's really meant to focus the message. And this year's theme is Better Days Ahead. I couldn't have said it any better given where we're at and when we reflect back at 2020 and and the challenges we all had there. We all see it. We're kind of sort of coming around the mountain, and we see better days ahead. I even see better days out this window I'm at, and I feel that. But you as table captains could actually impact not just yourselves and your families, but the families and children of Detroit. So we want better days, not just for the community, but specifically for challenged individuals and children in the programs. And you're going to make that happen by just stepping forward as a leader, as a table captain. So we're excited with that theme. We look forward. You'll see that throughout this presentation. You'll see that at the event, and looking forward to making that happen.
All right, now this is one of my favorite parts. This is our pop quiz time. What is the #1 Power of Possibility success factor? And for those of you that have been table captains before, I know you know the answer, but for those of you that haven't, it is table captains. It's all of you. We could not do this. We say it over and over again. We could not do this event without all of you. You're amazing. You are fabulous. You are wonderful. And obviously now more than ever, as Dave just reiterated, our children and families need the Children's Center. They need the services we provide. We are able to change lives, make their lives better. And obviously end of 19, 2020 has not been the greatest year for many of our families and for many of you all as well. So we do know that we can change their lives, and we can do that because of you all. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, and it's great because you think of Tina and you think of myself. We're not just presenting today, but we've been table captains for at least 12 years. So we've lived this, we know this, and we think the first thing we're asking you, as far as before the breakfast, what are we asking you to do? We're just asking you to invite some friends and family to an event, 10 to 11 guests to attend Tuesday, May 11th. And it seems easy. It does. I think stepping into it, it can be intimidating. We're going to show you how to get those guests. But the key point here is some people, as we know with all of our experience, commit to coming, but they need that follow-up and they need that constant reminder. And that there is an impact to that. So we kind of highlight that here. In our last event in 2020, we had a 29% no-show rate. That rate is reflective of people that said, yeah, I'm definitely there. I got you. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. And, but that's really reflective in the 191 people who reserved spots virtually to watch the program that didn't show up. So really dependent on those table captains to kind of continue that conversation, make sure to make that relevant and as informed as possible, so we can reduce that percentage. You know what that percentage does? It impacts our gift size and our overall success of the event. Just taking an average of gifts at our last event of $848, the potential loss there is around $161,000. So you can see, I know we're all perfectionists or want to be. It's not just about getting people there that say they're going to be there, but it actually, when we get them in this event, it's amazing. They get so excited about it. They want to connect with the Children's Center. Just getting them there is the challenge. And once we do that, we'll take care of everything else. So definitely the focus is get those guests, make sure they attend. Step one.
Step two. This is also extremely important. In fact, it is one of the most important things that you can do and that we can all do, is take the virtual tour and invite your guests. We're asking for 4 minimum, obviously more if possible. We would love for you to have all of your guests take a tour. They are offered on Wednesdays and Thursdays throughout the month. We would like at least 50% of the table to attend a tour. Again, we're looking for 100%. For those of you that have been table captains before, like I said, you know that how important something like that is, because the ones who actually attend a tour, if they give a gift, their gift is on average 4 times larger, which is tremendous. They also get to see what we do, how we do it, and it is 1 hour that is absolutely worth everybody's while. So please, please, please understand how important that is. In 2020, granted it was virtual, and again, I said our learning curve has gone up. We only had 11% of our attendees attend a tour. And what is remarkable is we still did fabulous, and we could have done even more fabulous. So please take the tour. Please have your guests take a tour. Again, so important. And if you have any questions after about that, we will answer. Step 3, send your confirmed POP guest list to us by Tuesday, April 27th. I was teasing because that's Gordon, my husband's birthday, so I won't forget that. We know that Dave won't do that, but that's all right. But he'll get a pass being a co-chair. But the reason we asked for it to be in sooner is because our Abby and Marletta, we really need to get the names to get everything organized so that with those last minute names that come in, we're prepared. Most important, when we get that information, we must have an email for every single guest, as that's how we send them the link to the event. So please, 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 when you send the names, do not forget the email. So there we go.
So 1, 2, 3. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Don't they say that, Tina? So
absolutely right.
So we don't make it. There's not a 6 and a 7 or an 8. So 1, 2, 3. But it sounds like you're all by yourself. Okay, great. I can do all those things. How are we supporting you in your success? We have put together what's called table captain check-in calls. We introduced Carmen earlier on this presentation, but these will be led by Carmen. These will be held in a Zoom platform. We actually listen to our table captains. Again, you're joining an elite community here of people that are really ambassadors for the Children's Center. So if you're new here, welcome. And what we've done, every time we do these events, we get a little better. We moved off of the Microsoft Teams platform to Zoom, and it's just more effective. So we're encouraging you to join all of these calls if they're again going to help you get those, do that 1, 2, and 3. As I said, invite the guests, go to the tour, turn in your guest list ahead of time, and send those email addresses. So again, the first call, you don't even have to mark it on your calendar because we're going to send it to you in a calendar invite. The first call is March 16th at 8:30 a.m. And these are, again, very informative. So we're excited to support you there. What happens on these calls? You get updates on the event. You hear how other table captains are doing and how they're trying to find people, or, what are the challenges how they're overcoming those. We're definitely providing advice, and you're, again, a part of a community here of table captains, so you're going to hear from some of our best table captains. And then if any other questions, certainly you don't have to attend to get your answers answered. If you have an answer during, if you have something else, send us an email, give us a call. But this is definitely a great way to collect all those questions and get all your answers at one time. So again, that's how we're going to be supporting you up from today, going forward through the event.
And just to circle back with that, we also, if the people who have been table captains before want to come and join us, we love to have it, because like it says, you can help the new table captains. There's nothing like them hearing from you and your little things that you might do, your little tricks, what you've learned. So that is wonderful. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. Day of event action items. So this is the morning of, this is what we're asking you to do. 4 things. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sign in to view the event no later than 7:15 a.m. Obviously, we know how the days go and how the mornings get started, but if you could do that by 7:15, we would certainly appreciate it. Please make sure your guests are signed into the event by 7:30 a.m. We also know that gives everybody a little bit of time in case something goes a little bit haywire or somebody's having an issue. It gives us some time to fix it. Then, just like when we were at the hotel, enjoy the networking, connect with your guests, and watch the program starting at 8 a.m. Now, here's the big thing. When all is said and done, within 24 hours of the event, we ask that you please call and thank every single one of your guests. And this is actually one of my favorite parts. You will hear, they will thank you, they will be so excited. And we do take that feedback. If there's something that they loved, we love to hear it. If there's something that they thought might have been something they weren't expecting, we love to hear that. So again, we learn from every single breakfast. But yes, if you could please call and thank them, we do appreciate that.
Sure.
All right, I am going to go through our electronic table captain kit. If you are a returning table captain from last year, this should look really familiar, but I'm going to go over it with everyone as a refresher. Just need to share my screen for you. So once you click on that link, it will be sent out by tomorrow to you. The link will take you to this page, and you just put in the password, which is POPTCC, which is POPTCC, easy to remember. Then you enter, and it will pop up and look like this. So this is your kit. It has everything you need as a table captain. Once you scroll down a little bit, these are the key documents that everyone is used to as a table captain. So the first is our table captain accountabilities form or document. It just has everything basically that we're talking about today. As a refresher, the different things, the 1, 2, 3 items that you have to do before the event, what to expect on the day of the event, and everything that's in this kit. Then we have our save the date card. This is a PDF. You can email it to your guests. It has all the information that they need to know of when the event is, when it starts, how to RSVP, and my contact information if they have any questions that you can't answer. So you can email this to your guests. You can text it to them by saving it to your phone. And it's a great, brief introduction to what the event is. And then lastly, we have our guest register. As Tina said, we need all of your guest information in order to get them registered for the event, especially the email. So this form is to help you to just get all that information for all your guests. And then down here, it is due to me on April 27th. And that, as she said, we had 700 guests registered for POP in 2020 in October. So it takes a long time to upload all of those 700 names. So please get it in on time so we can make sure that your guests get the login information on time as well. And then back to our webpage for just a second. We also have a recording of the October Power Possibilities, so you can check that out if you weren't able to be there. And then these are some links to the Children's Center web pages or different reports. If your guests ever have any questions about what we do, who we serve, these are great resources to direct them to. Next, we have our information on our check-in calls, which are on Zoom with Carmen. All of the dates are here of those calls, as well as the Zoom meeting link. It's one link for all of them, so no need to figure out what the right link is. There's only one, so you just have to click that one. And then you'll also receive reminder emails about these the day before each one of them. And I did send a reminder email for this meeting on Monday. If you did not get that, please reach out to me. We want to make sure that you are getting those, and sometimes they go to spam or just don't get sent for whatever reason. So please check your spam box and reach out to me if you did not get it. And then lastly, we have our information on the tour, just a little overview as well as all of the dates of all of the tours between now and May 11th. So you can see right here what's available and reach out to me to sign up yourself or any of your guests. And we can also do private tours for anyone you're inviting, like you can invite a whole group. And it's a great way to connect with your guests beforehand as well. So please reach out if you'd like to do that. And this is your kit. You'll get the link via email by tomorrow. So if you don't get that as well, please reach out to me. We want to make sure that you get all of this information. And I will hand it back to Dave, I think.
Yeah. Well, I heard, and Tina, do you hear that? You got to get your guests in on time this year, right?
Right. I remember that.
Okay. The cool thing about the PDF and the save the date is, I mean, my mom lives by that. So you invite a lot of guests through email these days. You might, and I use that effectively. You're giving them something besides a few words, and it's just right there. They can take it. Thank you for that. I mean, we just keep getting this process. So you have everything. And thank you, Abby, for going through everything. And certainly, if there's any questions, I think we've answered them through that kit. But we want to make it, if there's always questions. One additional pop quiz question, for example, is where do you begin to find your guests? With that number one, right? It said, how do we find 10 or 11 people? Help me with that. The answer is in your personal network. And we're going to shift now a little bit to be a little interactive here. And we are going to do a little activity, which you're going to be involved in, so we can get that process of finding guests off the ground. We call it personal treasure mapping. The lovely Tina Ford will take us through, like Vanna White, through this process. Grab your pen and paper and get ready to join this exercise. We will be taking a few minutes on this, so go grab that, and please join Tina and myself to go find those guests.
All right. I literally have my paper. I literally have my pen, and I'm going to give you a couple seconds to grab yours. I'm sure there's something you can scribble on around you, because this actually, we do this every year. I do this every year, and it works. It might sound a little bit funny at the beginning, but it absolutely works. I take and I draw my circle. You can kind of see it. And I put my name in the middle. All right. You start there. Then what you have to do is you have to start thinking about everybody in your life. You may think, oh, I don't have very many people. I don't know that many people. When you start breaking it down, you realize how many people you actually know. So you start doing the spokes and you start writing. You have friends, you have family, you have work colleagues. You may have volunteers from other charities you're affiliated with. You have vendors. You may have clients, you may have your faith community. And so you think about all those and you write them down. And then below that, you write the names of your family. You write the names of all your friends, your work colleagues. You just put all the names down, and it gives you a place to start where you can think, these people may be interested in finding out about the Children's Center, and they may want to attend this virtual breakfast. So as you can see, we really know a lot more people than we think. We also, as you can see on the slide, we have breakout groups. You may have a book club. You may have your Rotary Club. You may have a sorority or fraternity you belong to. You may have a professional group. All of a sudden, your world gets pretty darn big. So that is how we map out finding the easiest way to find your people. So I'm going to give you a second, because this truly, it is the time, and it works every year, to write down your people and names. Again, family, friends, faith, work.
What if I have a friend that is a customer and formerly part of a fraternity that I was in? You
could put them under both.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, I mean, you may think like a client, a customer, remember, you're not asking them for anything other than to potentially attend a 1-hour event that could change their lives and maybe change the lives of our children and families.
I've been so surprised by this activity. Some people I'm most intimidated by to invite, especially clients, have just taken off. I've left them through a tour and then at this event. And I haven't seen them in a couple of years, but they've done more for the Children's Center in those years than I would never have guessed. And they keep thanking me for that introduction. So the feeling I always had is that I'm providing an opportunity to be a part of Detroit, a part of an amazing organization that will steward any donation or of time or resources in an amazing way. You heard from Deborah earlier, our CEO, and take that in impact and really move the needle on mental health and supporting the children of Detroit. So I feel comfortable with that in my background to go out to any of these groups now because I've seen over 14 years, 12 to 14 years doing this, the opportunity we provide.
And any questions you may have, we will answer after. So again, just take a moment. And like Dave said, we're really offering them an opportunity to change the lives of these children and families. So, Dave, do you have all your names written down?
Yeah, I keep it in a spreadsheet actually.
Oh, you're very fancy. You don't
But
keep it like this?
Yeah, there you go. It's based on that activity though, because I always come up with a few more. If you're a returning table captain, you may look at your table from last year and say, who there maybe wants to be a table captain? We're not saying that we have all the table captains we need more, but certainly we're first looking for guests and then there are opportunities to promote. So just that's another thought there I'll leave out there.
So, but there you go. Some questions we can maybe answer now. Dave? Yeah,
thank you. And I hope that activity, again, take that home. It's definitely more of a half-hour activity because of those names. They're so critical. One of the questions we usually get asked around, especially new table captains, are we looking just for wealthy people that are going to donate a lot of money? I don't know a lot of wealthy people. We're looking for passionate people. It's amazing. I use this example where I've invited somebody that, certainly has other priorities. He came in and I didn't expect him to give a great gift, and he gave a moderate gift. But what he's done for the Children's Center is introduce his corporation and bring in volunteers that has impacted the Children's Center for years. But that one person wasn't a wealthy person. So you never know what was so passionate about him is he's passionate about helping the children heal, grow, and thrive, as it says there. And so there's dozens of hundreds of stories there. So think about people differently. Think about people that want to impact Detroit, want to do something in this time where you're sitting at home and wanting to do something for somebody else, and especially the children of Detroit in this case. Next question. My friends are busy. If they can only attend one thing, what should they attend? First, they should attend both, ideally. But what's the priority? If there's one thing they can attend, a tour or this breakfast that we now do annually, what's more important? The tour is more important. And that's really, the reasoning there is, as Tina already said, why we stress the tour. The tour is the point of entry in our approach to really informing an individual how we impact through all of our programs mental health and provide mental health services and measure not just output but outcomes, and that's all done through the tour. The breakfast is an amazing event, very very emotional, and but it's not the tour would be the one thing. You definitely have to start if you can do that. We ideally want you to, as a table captain, get at least half of your table to a tour before the event, but and then they attend the event. But that's my own experience speaking. The tour is very critical. Next question. Okay, yeah, I get this one. And I am this person. I probably wrote this question. I'm running out of friends. I've been a table captain. How do I, this is for table captains that come again and again to this event. I usually, the first answer is right on. I mean, I have people that look forward to this event every year. So repeat guests are fine. They actually write their annual checks at my table and they said, thanks, I never get to this. And so thanks for inviting me every year. So definitely, it was a 500-person event. It's a Super Bowl, large event, huge impact on Detroit. People want to be there. I mean, it is an event. It's not, so I get, no, don't be afraid to invite people back. It is going to be bigger and better than ever. We have a new platform there. There are some programs, slight changes that allow you to interact better with your guests. So it's going to be even a better experience than just the one in the fall. So please invite those people back. Also, we just did this activity around personal network mapping. Go back to that after this later tonight or when you're sitting alone, and you'll find 3 or 4 other people. And one trick I always do is I ask the guest that's most passionate, going to sit at your table, to bring a friend. And right there, somebody that's already and passionate and that would like to come on the tour as well as attend the breakfast. So that's a way to get at other guests at your table. And then with a virtual, I know this is not new to us, but we can invite people outside of Detroit, outside of the neighborhoods of Detroit, and think, those people that have moved up north, the people that used to come down to this event, they used to have to drive an hour or said they couldn't come down to this event, they would now be able to access this from anywhere. We've had many examples from board members and other table captains inviting people from New York, Chicago. But what's the commonality there is that these are people passionate about children, passionate about Detroit. So they want to attend. So think outside the geographical boundaries and definitely you'll find others there. So those are just examples and use those to fill out your table.
And yes, piggybacking on Dave, that is huge. I mean, literally, I had my in-laws the last breakfast they live out of state. Really, we can make this. There is no cap. We can have 1,000 people. You can invite everybody, California, anywhere. So yes, obviously the time change, maybe a little bit of they might get up pretty early, but it is nice to know that we can invite all those people that have never been able to attend before. So. All right, this is the fun part. This is the Table Captain Award category. So it gives you something to look forward to and work towards. Our first one is most guests in attendance. So again, like I just said, you could have 100 people. So if you want to invite all your people from all around the country. The lowest no-show rate. Again, that was also we discussed earlier. Obviously, the no-shows, that takes away monies that could have been put towards our dear children and families. So earliest filled tables, the deadline for the guest name again is Tuesday, April 27th. Like we said, we had 700 people last time and everybody has to get the names and everything in the computer, and that takes a lot of time. So Dave, I know that you're going for that this year.
That's mine.
That's yours, right? The highest number of guests who attend a tour from now until May 11th. We found out how important these tours are, how much they mean to us, and how much it means to our guests. And again, like we said, if they could only do a tour or the breakfast, absolutely the tour. There will be another breakfast. And then the newcomer awards. So for all of you newbies, this is you submit names on time, you attend a tour yourself, at least 50% of your guests attend a tour, and you have 10 guests attend the breakfast. So that's always very fun to see who wins that award. So,
yeah.
Yes. All right.
The rookie award. I love it.
Right. And you can see last year, the 2020 Table Captain Awards, obviously, most dollars raised. Shout out to Mr. Reich. Well done. But newcomer award, again, so very exciting. Largest percentage of guests attending a tour. So these are all wonderful, wonderful awards that they actually do mean something and they make a huge difference in the breakfast. So there we go. They're fun. Well,
I hope, Tina, we convinced them that this is an an amazing organization, the Children's Center, too, that they're joining as a table captain, an elite community of philanthropic individuals that want to impact Detroit and move the needle on mental health. And they know that by being in this role, they're really a conduit and really want to provide opportunity for people to come to this event. We're talking 500 plus people at this amazing event. And at one point, when it was a physical event, we had to turn people down. I hate to say it like that. We had filled the room. It was standing room only. Now we have this expanding virtual tactical ability to bring as many people as we can. But also we've improved since last fall that platform, so it's more interactive. And there's some fun stuff I already looked at, and we, Tina, we've looked at the program itself a little bit, and I'm excited about what this program has, and I'm looking forward to sharing it, and we're looking forward to sharing it with all of you.
And so we know that there are some of you online today that still might be on the fence. So we're hoping that this made all the difference in the world, answered all your questions, alleviated all your fears. So if you still need to confirm, obviously you can contact Abby. She would love to hear from you. So yes, again, like we said, we are looking for more table captains. That's something else that we can't have too many of, being a virtual event. It really has opened up our world.
So it's time for Q&A. Abby, I saw a couple questions that were collected.
Oh, yep, just trying to unmute myself. All right. So the first, if you have questions and you would like to ask them out loud, just click the raise your hand button and I will call on you, but I'll start with the questions in the chat. So the first question I saw was from Chewy, and it was, when will we get the link for the virtual appearance? And I think I can answer this. You will get it as soon as it's available. We want to send it to you as soon as we can. So at minimum, it will be a week in advance, but hopefully it will be sooner. And just keep checking your Table Captain News emails to find out when that is sent. The next question, let's see.
Again, Abby, that was the link to the event itself.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And people always want that as early as possible so they don't have to hunt for it in the morning and say, where's the link? Where's the link? So, okay, I get it. Yep.
Yep. And then the next question I have is, I need to be enlightened as to what virtual networking from 7:30 to 8 a.m. entails. What as a participant will I be doing? I'm afraid of having folks on 30 minutes early and they will check out even before the event starts at 8.
Abby, do you want to take that one?
I do not, but maybe Marletta.
Marletta.
Sure. Actually, I don't know, Tammy, if you want to jump in, that's fine. But I will go ahead. So we're going to do a virtual networking where we're using a virtual networking tool. So from 7:30 to 8, you'll actually be able to jump on to different tables and actually see people visually. So you'll be able to see friends and say hi. And so if you recall, when we were in person, that first 30 minutes, people would gather around the coffee table and see friends they haven't seen in a while, or use that for business networking opportunities. And a lot of our table captains and guests really missed that last year. So we've been doing some research and investing in some tools that will allow people to see each other virtually, to chat, to have conversation prior to the breakfast. And it's also incentive for people to log on early and on time.
Right after that was from the same person, are tours available virtual only or also in person? And I can answer that. As of now, we're only doing virtual, keeping you and our children and families safe who are coming on campus. So everything is virtual right now. All right, I like to highlight Nancy's. She has great tips, so I'll just read this out loud. She uses our video tour, which is a short, I think it's 5 minutes or less, to reinforce attendance, just get people primed of what to expect at the event. So I can include that in one of my emails, so you have that to send to your guests as well. And also on the day of her event, she just texts everyone in a group chat to remind them to sign on and give them tips on how to sign on. So great tips from a very seasoned and all-star table captain. All right, next question is there a formal letter that you can use for invitations to get people ready? So we do have a few different, it's not a formal letter, but I do have a few email templates. If you do want a formal letter, I can make that for you. So reach out to me and you'll get email template invitations in your Table Captain News emails that come out on Fridays.
Just email will work for me, Abby.
Sorry, say that again?
This is Lisa Lunsford. I asked that question. Just the email template will work.
Perfect.
Okay.
Look out for those emails. Make sure that you are getting them, and I'll have them in there as we go through the season.
And I do want to encourage everyone, if you do choose to use any of our templates, please do customize it and make it personal. Make it a personal call to action for your friends and family, so they're moved by you. They don't show up to the breakfast because the Children's Center is an awesome cause. They really show up to the breakfast because they're personally connected to you and they understand that the Children's Center is important to you. So we encourage you to try and convey that to any electronic, digital, handwritten notes that you send.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just comment there. Abby, I'll share one or two of mine. I tend to get a lot of people responding, but it really includes the elements of why I'm involved with the Children's Center. Why do I, how does this fit into, and certainly personalized. I just saw him last week. I'm saying, hey, great to see you. I mentioned that this event, here's the detail, but let me tell you a little bit about why I'm involved and then why I would love to have you there. And by the way, so anyway, I'll share one or two also that kind of have, that have worked for me.
That'd be great. I think we have another question about the networking. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is about networking. How will you know which table people are at?
So the real focus of the coffee hour, the 7:30 to 8, is for people to just kind of chat and get to know each other. When you enter in, you'll be able to kind of select where you want to go and you can navigate and talk. Once the breakfast starts, it really will be focused on the program. So the networking portion will take place prior to 8 o'clock. And then there's opportunity at 9 o'clock for people to kind of hang around and still talk and network and socialize. So it's more of an informal connection.
And if I may just add, so when you or your guests enter the virtual room, you should see a list of table hosts, and you can go, if there's a open spot, an open seat at their table, you can virtually sit with them and chat and then move on to visit with someone else who has an open spot at their table. So our first time really engaging with this new tool, but we are told that it's amazing. We've got lots of references, and it should kind of add in that important networking component that we all loved when we could meet in person.
And what I'm hearing, Tammy, you say is that we'll probably sharpen that or further clarify how that interaction happens beyond what you said as we go through those table captain calls, and we kind of we're still tailoring this amazing platform, which is going to be great in these interactions, but in concept, that's all laid out. That's how we're going to do it. But we'll continue to keep all the table captains informed, because as a table captain, I want to interact with my people coming into the room. Where are they? How do I get to them? Am I a table host? That means they're going to come to me. Do I just sit there? So we're going to get those answers to you, and it looks like it's going to be way better than what we had in the fall. So I'm excited about that interaction before the event.
All right, that's all the questions in the chat that I can see. If anyone has any questions they'd like to ask out loud, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat if you have any last dying questions.
And again, the table captain check-in calls with Carmen will be wonderful and answer many, many, many of your questions as well. Right, Carmen?
Correct. That is right. Hi, everybody.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, and again, you can email Abby, you can email anybody if you think of something as soon as we, log off. But most importantly, we just want to say thank you so very much for spending your time with us today. As we said earlier, so many of you are on these calls all the time, whether it be Zoom or Teams, and at 4:15, 4:30 to log on and be here with us. Thank you. Our children and families need us now more than ever. So thank you. Thank you. Dave?
Yeah, thank you. And as a theme, I'll end it with this. Yeah, better days ahead for our children of Detroit and our families. You are really taking the lead on that and part of an organization that's really out there making things happen. So thank you. This is the first step. We're going to help you along the way. Looking forward to getting to know all of you.
All right, Marletta, anybody have anything else they just want to end with or say?
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank
Fill
you,
those
guys.
tables. You can do 100. I know you can.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
All righty.
All right, see you.
Thank you
Take care.
all.
Good job, guys.
Okay.
Yep, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Zach's family, I mean, he's on S Fund,
Yeah.
so I think it went really well. Great job.
Well, 1 second. Can we stop recording, Abby?